So, if you subscribe to my channel, you should know I talk about minimalism a lot. But a lot of times it has to do with physical things, the apartment, my clothes, my gear. Today I want to talk about the opposite, digital minimalism, and how it applies to online accounts, the cloud, hard drives, my computer, my digital space. And I want to start off by saying that I don't think minimalism is just about owning less things. It's about finding out what you value and then working hard to just focus on those things and then cut away all the fat and distractions that are keeping you from that focus. So in this video, I hope to show you that my process for digital minimalism means that I'm not paying for anything that I don't use. I have easy access to any assets or media that I need in the cloud, wherever, whenever, however. And it's an easy process to do and maintain, to back up. A lot of times just automatic. Okay, so I'd like to start off by saying that I have a PC in that room for streaming and gaming. And then I have this main MacBook Pro that I use for work. And it has a 1 terabyte solid state drive. And it's mainly free. You can see it's like 830 gigabytes available. And I have a current project on this computer that I'm using to edit. I have a couple video clips that I've already shot for this video, and then some wedding film school podcast stuff. But that's all Final Cut. Everything else is just system. And then the other thing that's main is the iOS files. So 33 gigabytes. What is that? So that is actually my 64 gigabyte iPhone backed up to my computer. And you might be wondering, why don't you back up in the cloud? I don't do that because if I did that, I would have to pay for it. I am using iCloud, but just enough to get away without paying. I have 5 gigabytes for free, and I'm mainly using that for just cloud email. And then everything else is just fluff. And I'm definitely not backing up my iPhone to the cloud because, one, it isn't a full backup. You would still need your computer backup to get back to 100% with the apps or something else. And I also encrypt it, and it's just easy. Every couple of months, I just plug in my iPhone, bring up iTunes, back up, and that's it. Honestly, if I did that once a year, I would totally be fine because I'm not changing that much that I need to back up on my phone, and all of the photos and media is backed up to the cloud, which I'll get to in a second. So I'm not paying for anything Apple Cloud wise. I'm not using iCloud Drive because that would be redundant. It'd be redundant because I'm using Google Drive. So you can see Google Drive running as an app up here, but its folder is local on my computer and in the cloud and on my PC. Because I have selective sync, so actually this is everything that is in the cloud and it's just synced onto my computer. You can pick exactly what you want to sync to the computer, which for me is everything, and it's assets. Assets are like templates and LUTs that I frequently use, profile pics, logos, PNGs, letterboxing. I'll use these every so often. I just want to have them on my computer, and it barely takes up any space, 166 megabytes. So that's awesome. Workshop assets is just a temporary workshop project that I'm sharing with other people, so I need to keep it accessible in case they want to view and download. Once that project's done, I'll probably get rid of this folder and I'll just be back to the assets. Like not even a quarter of a megabyte or gigabyte being used. So am I paying for Google Drive? Let's check that out. The answer is no, I'm not. So I get 19 gigabytes, 15 free and then 4 from checkups, but I'm barely using any space from Drive as you saw. And then Gmail's not using anything because we all have to have a Gmail account pretty much if you want a YouTube channel or Google Drive or Google Photos. You get a Google Gmail account and you kind of just I forward it to the actual email account that I'm using, which is Apple Mail. So I'm not using any space there. I auto delete everything that I'm forwarding. And then Google Photos, I have a little bit of space there, but I'm working on getting that down to 0 because what they do is they offer high quality if they let you compress a little bit. And, like they describe here, you're barely going to see a difference. Most people are not having, super high res photos and video that they need the original quality. So having free unlimited space is like just awesome. It's everything. And I don't know what you can see here, so I'm not going to show any photos, but technically I have every single photo I've ever taken with any camera uploaded here, and I'm not being charged, or it's not counting against space at all. And then I have every single video that I've ever taken with my phone. So that's Instagram stories, that's Twitter videos, that's whatever. It's all backed up here. And this is all of 2017, 2018. I started doing this at the beginning of 2017. So this is a really good way to archive and keep everything. And I also have contracts, which I've taken and uploaded as JPEGs. Some of them were PDFs, which I just switched to a JPEG and then uploaded. And I have them all here. I can search by date. Some of them I can search by name and file name. And for photos, I can search by face. So I have everything here. I can access it, download it on my phone. I don't need to keep any photos on my phone hard drive or this hard drive. It's all in the cloud. It's always accessible, and it's high quality. So I've got 19 gigabytes of Google Drive, barely using any space right now. But if I do have a large project like with media, like say a 500 gigabyte project that I have to send to someone in Japan, I could just quickly buy $10 a month, upload, confirm that they got it, download it, and then delete it, and then switch back to the free version. And I think you get some money back if you switch before your month is up. So super cheap, super easy. I have that option. So while I'm here, I do want to talk about Safari. Look how clean this is. This is awesome. Every tab I open, it brings me to this favorites. So I've handpicked these websites because I use them the most. Like 90% of the time, I'm just going to pick one of these. So it's really quick to go to my frequently used websites. And look at the top. You'll notice that there's just like absolutely nothing at the top. I don't need any buttons or anything. And if I'm on a web page and I visit coaching, when I want to go back, I can just 2-finger swipe and go back. Like, why even have forward and back buttons if I don't need it? Also, you'll notice that I'm in full screen mode. 4-finger swipe, go back and forth. If I have multiple things open, it's just in a row. So Final Cut X is going to open up here, and hopefully my computer doesn't crash because I'm recording in 4K at 60 frames per second. Bring it up. So, and I can just 4-finger swipe between these apps. It just keeps it very clean, very easy. I have all the real estate, because if I worked in Final Cut like this, I'm literally losing resolution up here for no reason. Like, why not have those extra pixels for the timeline or whatever? Like, it drives me crazy that people don't edit in full screen or just use every app in full screen. It's better. It's, you know, it's a 13-inch screen. Why not? Why would you upgrade to the 15-inch if you could just like use all of the resolution of the 13-inch? It's totally fine. What's even worse is when people put this dock on the bottom and then just like move the app up. It drives me absolutely insane. Like, you're just wasting resolution. Why not just full screen it? And I realized that it's cut off at the bottom a little bit just because I'm recording this in not 16:9 and uploading is 16:9. So don't worry about the bottom of the frame. So going back to my Finder, you'll find desktop applications, Google Drive, the assets folder within Google Drive, just so I can access that quickly. Movies, because all of my Final Cut is just within this one library. That's the only library, and this is like a very old, I've had this for months. When I make new projects, I just make new events, and then once I finish one, I just delete it. So right now I've got Wedding Film School working on, I've got my assets in here, Letterbox, iPhone, Google Overlay, some music that I use, some music, and then this project. So I've got the project files. So I take video footage from my camera, and in this instance, I have 01, which was just my screen recording. And what I do is I import that into this, and then when I import, I use copy to library, and that copies it to this Final Cut X library. So I know every single asset or piece of media that I'm using to edit with is in there. And as that file size goes up, as long as it's under 1 terabyte or 830 gigabytes, I'm totally fine. I've never had it go over that. And the most I've ever had was a Tokyo project, which was like 7 days straight of 4K footage, and that didn't fill up my hard drive, so I was totally fine. And as I finish a project in Final Cut, I export it and upload it to YouTube or send it to a client or whatever. And I don't keep raw footage just because as long as I have like a high quality finished cut, I can just re-download that, cut it up, use whatever I need. To me, like, I've tried saving raw footage, like video wise, and it just seemed like a waste. Like, I didn't need it. It just took way too much time to go through and organize and find it. So as long as I have the final video projects, I'm totally fine. And where do I upload that? I upload that to YouTube. So I've got 441 videos here. On your end, you're not gonna see all of those videos because a lot of these, just like these podcast videos, are archives. They're private, they're unlisted, they're not public. They're just for me to keep here in case I ever want to just download it or use it or make it public or do whatever I want. I think YouTube is a great place to store your video archives because you can just download it in pretty good quality from MP4 right here. It's compressed. Or if you want, you can download with, I think, Google Takeout, all of your original files that were uploaded to the Google servers. And honestly, it's all H.264, it's all compressed. So as long as you download full res, like 4K, if you uploaded that, it looks fine. This is the Kraig Adams brand. I've got Wedding Film School, which is pretty much the same, but with all of my Wedding Film School videos and client videos, the wedding films. So a lot of those are private and listed, accessible just by them or myself, and I can always download anything. So all of my videos are backed up in the cloud. I mentioned before just forwarding all of my Gmail emails to my Apple account, and that's what this is. I practice inbox zero, this, no emails. I just have sent, junk, and archive. So I treat this inbox like a to-do list. Every day I work through it to get to inbox zero. If I reply to an email, I put it into archive. If I finish a conversation, I put it into archive. Pretty much if any email is left here, I still need to work on it. So archive never gets deleted. So emails and conversations that I want to keep, they're just in archive and I can search and find and go through by date. But I just delete everything else I don't need. So I've never deleted an email that I've needed. And it's just always there, clean, easy to access. Quickly, I'll point out I'm using a VPN. It's just good to keep safe. And if you're traveling and you want to use your US Netflix login, you can just click US and then use your account info. And honestly, that's it. Like, I only put the apps that I use on the sidebar here, and you better damn believe that it's hidden. It's got to be hidden. Very small but important. I use this view, and also it's really good to alt-click within folders, show view options, and then make sure calculate all sizes is checked, just so you can see all the file sizes, especially within folders. So these things change, every so often, but I'm really happy with how everything's maintained right now. Like I said, it's very cheap, if not free. I have access to everything, wherever, however, and it's pretty easy to maintain. And if I have to transfer files between the PC and my MacBook Pro, I use Google Drive because it's downloaded on the PC and it's quick and easy. I don't need flash drives. I don't have hard drives. Yeah. So let me know what you think. I would love to know if this is similar to your process. If it sounds crazy, let me know. I'd love any feedback. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Peace.